Hi everyone and welcome to my new solo channel FilmDirt. For this one I'm going to be looking at the original Superman the movie. I absolutely love this movie. It's an incredible achievement really, and you've got some superb performances. I love Christopher Reeve. I know everyone's already said everything that needs to be said about his performance. He's charming, he's such an engaging character, a perfect Superman and Clark Kent portrayal. Absolutely perfect. And Margot Kidder as Lois Lane, perfect character. Just the bumbling klutz, and the sort of person you believe is your workmate, the reporter type. And that character, I could believe the authenticity of that character, and how she'd be very much into Superman. I mean, who wouldn't? You've got this time period as well in which it was made, and in the late 70s, visual effects starting to really come into its own. What moving images can we manipulate on film? I mean, we've got rear projection, and we've got people on wires, and they're lit creatively so they disappear into the background. And I mean, it's quite accomplished and a very difficult movie. I mean, overall, I have to address the choice of cinematography, and I know it was intentional to have a very soft focus, grainy, and I think you're looking at a filter of some description just to give it that dreamlike quality. And I love that, but I also don't like films that are too grainy. I may be in the minority here, but I like movies to be a bit smoothed out. And I'll try and explain why I prefer that. When I'm watching a movie, I like to get invested in the movie. And if there's a very grainy movie, it almost reminds me that I'm watching a movie rather than being in the story. Now, like I say, I like to get invested in. There's a handful of movies that are in my top 10 where I get invested when I watch them, and this one is in there. But the grain always takes me out of it to some degree. I can't concentrate because I'm being irritated by an overly grain image. Now, I know there's a lot of other grainy movies out there that have been smoothed out. I mean, let's just look at Terminator 2. That was always a grainy movie for me, and even the Criterion and remastered versions, they were still grainy, and it was smoothed out recently for 4K, and I prefer it. Just being able to forget that you're in reality and just almost teleport into the screen almost, and forget that you're actually watching a movie, and you can't do that if it's too grainy and you're seeing bad VFX. And I really love to appreciate being able to get really invested in a great movie. So that's just my opinion, and I know there's an appreciation for movies shot on film, and maybe in yesteryear the film stock wasn't of the quality it is now, so films age as well because it's a chemical process, and this degrades over time. My knowledge of film is minimal, but I understand from working loosely in filmmaking myself, where you have to look after certain elements of film, which is now, I think it's all digital now, isn't it? I think for the most part we're using good quality film stock, and they're processed into a digital medium. And we just didn't have that back in the day. We didn't have the same process we have. So, forgiving Superman's very grainy soft focus image, it's still, you've got to say, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, recently I also watched the extended TV cut. So I'm gonna be talking about both the theatrical and the TV cut, where the TV cut had some, scenes extended which are very grainy, probably because they didn't get archived with the same love and care that the theatrical cut did. And a lot of it is just padding. It didn't really need to be there, except one shot. There was one shot after the first initial outing for Superman where Superman saves Lois Lane from the falling helicopter. Now, there's one shot after that where you see a grand visual image of Superman flying and the fantastic John Williams score in the background, and that was cut out in the theatrical cut. It should have stayed in there. It was fantastic. But all the others, they didn't need to be there. The theatrical cut is great as it is, but that shot should have been reinserted into the theatrical cut. It was incredible, really. And it just shows how believable the flying effects were back in the day. The shots on Krypton, where that's okay, you can forgive the soft focus there because we're on a different world. And it was superbly realised. This crystal planet, which wasn't really explained. Was it all crystal or is it green rocks? Are the green rocks harmful, or are they harmful to inhabitants of that planet, or are they only harmful when you're in the Earth's atmosphere? I don't know, but it's you can lose yourself in the lore of what this film introduced. It's not only the setup and the story, it's the acting, which I mentioned earlier, is superb. I mean, both sets of parents. You've got Marlon Brando and Susannah York as his Kryptonian parents. I mean, the few shots they have on screen is remarkable. I mean, you can believe that they're his parents, and they have to send, it's almost like a religious Bible story of sending your only child, in the basket, because your time has come. This is your end, and you're not going to be able to save your son and yourself. You have to save your son. It's incredible to be able to learn humanity and being able to do things for others. I mean, that's a good message there. And the Earth parents as well, both fantastic portrayals. They played it very well, considering it's a comic book story, and they've just witnessed someone come from seemingly outer space, and they've just had this child land on their doorstep almost. They haven't told authorities, so they're keeping him and raising him for themselves. And the whole story is sold to us with some fantastic, believable performances. I think Richard Donner did exceptionally well. I mean, throughout the film, there's nothing you could cut out of it. It's all valid. And the love story as well. Absolutely fantastic film. One of the best superhero films and the best movie, period. I mean, it's all here. I mean, I know I'm very much nitpicking here, but if they cleaned up the image in a future remaster, I would be first in line to get that as well. I don't care how many versions of the film I've got now. I'd be first in line for that. And I think it's fantastic. Definitely 5 stars for me. It's one of the must-see movies. If you've not seen it, you have to. And introduce your friends and your kids to it as well. It will be, never forgotten. So that's my review for Superman the movie. And just to finish with a little bit about me, I set up this solo channel just to be able to vent my opinions, because I disagree with some of the published opinions, and I know some other reviewers are receiving free tickets and promotional bonuses for giving good reviews. I don't agree with that at all. I don't do that. And you know, I like to say what's on my mind. So I'll see you again for possibly Superman 2, maybe. I mean, that's quite a possibility. So see you then. It's good speaking to you. Take care.